Hello everyone. Welcome to our very exciting Christmas special where none of us actually wore any Christmas attire. Typical three idiots hitting it out of the park, smashing it. I feel like the Christmas Grinch at the moment because I can't wait till Friday when I can actually enjoy it and it stops. So,
What happens on Friday?
What's that?
What happens on Friday?
I decided to stop work for the year. So
right.
I could actually have a Christmas break and, well, I'm sure clients will still annoy me over the break, but it's all right.
Sorry, the way you said that, it's like, is Christmas finished for you on Friday? Like, it stopped? What's going on?
I feel like Christmas starts for me on Friday. Like I haven't actually had a chance for it to be Christmas until I stop work. And the stupid thing is I'm actually self-employed and set my own hours. So why am I stopped? Anyway, I should have stopped.
Christmas in December.
Should have stopped yesterday when Kim stopped. But anyway, that's okay. Being busy means you're making money, and that's the aim of the game in business. So it's all good. Sometimes you got to do it. Are you naughty or nice? I like that. Do you have 6 fingers, Cam? I've just wondered. It's often a result of inbreeding. Do you have 6 fingers?
Theoretically, I've got 8, but 4 on each hand and a couple of thumbs to add to that. So, yeah. Just wondering how your hair growth's going.
I'm also wondering, is the scar from the surgery of you removing the extra ones, is that obvious, or have they done a really good job?
That's not bad from you.
Did you use the same plastic surgeon that Matt's going to use to get his masturbating hands fixed?
Why is a plastic surgeon doing his hand, and what is the plastic surgeon going to do to his hand?
He said that he's a hand model. He asked for a plastic surgeon because he does hand modeling and foot modeling. So he needs his hand and feet to look amazing.
The thing is, apparently it's a plastic surgeon because they have to artificially create my new tendon, which, obviously puts the price up more because he's a specialist plastic surgeon. But I do get a 2-for-1 special, and I get an extra inch at the same time. So winning.
So one hand's going to be bigger than the other.
Pardon?
One hand's going to be bigger than the other then.
No, I'm not talking about my hand now.
You know what they say about people with big hands, eh?
Little feet.
Big gloves. Anyway.
Does ACC cover the surgery?
Yeah. At this point, I'm waiting for them to turn around and do the degenerative. They've currently asked me to go get tested for rheumatoid arthritis. So they're you can see that they're trying to find an avenue to get out of it. Worst case scenario, I do.
Far away.
Worst case scenario, I do have that adult responsible thing, health insurance.
So for all of the people that watch or listen that are on Freedom units, over here we've got this cool thing called ACC. So like if you hurt yourself, it doesn't cost you millions of dollars to get healthcare. It's actually pretty cost effective and just part of your normal tax system and away you go. So yeah.
But the problem with it is, in theory, it should save you money. But being a government-run insurance company, they do everything they can to try and get out of it. So, and it's not optional to pay for it. You have to pay for it, and they try and not cover you for everything. So often people have to take them to court or hire their own specialists in order to get their claims accepted. So it's a classic, hey, this would be a great idea. We'll take everyone's money and then do everything we can to not pay out. So
would you prefer the other system?
A user pay system that actually pays out? Yeah, probably.
Does it really actually pay out though?
I've never had.
To be fair, my health insurance is fucking amazing.
People who have had that private health insurance seem to be really good.
Yeah, it's cheap because it's a police one. But literally, I can claim anything and everything. And just to address Nigel's comment, no, mate, two. Don't get too ambitious. Not 4.
only if you fold it in half. Anyway, now if you are listening live, you will see the link is there to join. So if you're interested, then click on the link and sit there in the back of the thing, and Cam will see you, and he may just Russian roulette throw some people in there, and we can abuse them. I mean, not abuse them. We can talk nicely to them and give them encouraging Christmas messages.
I think we talked last week. It was going to be a like, what's your greatest fishy achievement for the year, and what do you hope for fishiness wise next year as well?
Oh, there's someone. Oh,
okay. What a dick!
Oh, no.
What a dick! It's like the local hillbilly has just discovered internet, and like
yeah.
Go back to the day of like
he's discovered how to send thumbs up in a text message, so he's just sending them to everyone.
You imagine when they made the jump from carrier pigeons to the mail service, it would have just been, the poor mailman would have been picking up letters and going, I'm putting this back in the box I found it in.
Yes. Hilarity. What have you guys been up to in your fish rooms this week? Generic, undirected comment.
I'll take some lead here. Not a lot.
You've been murdering, I believe.
This morning I was driving here and I was like, I really hope Ryan is nice and doesn't bring up the fact that 3 of my colonies are currently fucked. I'm putting it down to starting with lower than ideal numbers. The problem is I'm now at really only on one of them. I'm at a dangerously low number, because if it gets any lower, they are gone burgers for everyone.
What fish are you talking about?
What was it?
What fish are you talking about?
Chilumba. So as far as we can tell, I'm the only one with males and females.
Male and female.
Chilumba what?
Yeah, well done, Ryan. Male and female.
The problem is with it, you shut down your fish room, right, and then you got back into it, and you could only really get back what you could get, and you ended up lacking on females basically. So, and not enough ladies for all the men's attention. There's too many dicks on the dance floor, as they say.
There's a dick on the dance floor, and he has been a fucking pain in the ass. So yeah, at the moment, my whole efforts are about protecting that Chilumba female. So I'm doing a whole heap of shuffling and moving around and trying to get a good little combo, so that I can just get, like, if I get one spawn, I was saying to Ryan yesterday, if I get one spawn, then we're back on.
Are these the Mbuna or the peacocks?
Peacocks.
No, peacock. They're essentially a very similar to a flametail, but they were reported as Chilumba, and they are slightly different, so we've just called them Chilumba. What they are exactly, I mean, without genetic testing, you'll never really know, but they are cool. They do breed true, and they're worth keeping. Otherwise, we'll never get them again.
So why don't you make up some crazy common name so people don't get confused?
They have a common name.
What's the common name?
Flavescent.
Oh, sorry?
No, they don't. They're not flavescent.
That's what comes up as.
No.
Well,
flavescent is
flavescent everywhere?
What's that?
Aren't they quite common? So that means you're not holding the bag? God, even I know that.
What's that?
I said, aren't the flavescents relatively common in relative terms? So you're not holding the bag of the only ones?
Nah, so
Provision are
there's
different. Provision are different,
Yeah.
but we're just arguing semantics anyway, because that's a common name, so it doesn't actually have any standing anywhere. So
it's like it's like the whole fucking Alion Cara, Stuart Granty fucking times a million.
there's some sort of Stuart Granty. Who knows? But yeah.
So again, why don't you just make up a common name for it? Seems like the thing to do.
We will call them super blue peacocks with a hint of reddy orange, kind of cool, looking awesome.
Aggressive.
And the funny thing is, when I last kept them, they weren't aggressive. So yeah, they were
Maybe
soft ass.
maybe it's the particular male that I've got in there. Maybe he's just an arsehole and I need to put one of the other boys in there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not up for experimenting with them at the moment though.
No,
I
I've
heard
been
you like
putting them
to
in
experiment
I've
with
put them
males.
in a tank with a divider. Wait until she's ready to go, pull the divider out, watch them spawn, and then put the divider back in. That's what I'd do.
Yeah.
Anyway. So
Fun
man,
times.
you see me grab some females and bolster all his numbers.
Yeah. Other than that, I've just been doing my last rounds for the higher tanks, getting them all nice and clean for when people come and visit their loved ones at the homes, that the tanks look nice. Yeah, that's about it.
And you've been looking at a fish room expansion and sort of pricing that and going through the logistics of that, eh? Building some more
Yeah, if anyone
some
can
tanks?
supply glass, that would be fucking fantastic.
Only
Because
Auckland Glass would get on board, eh?
if Auckland Glass could get on board, it would be great. Because at the moment, everyone's giving me a please fuck off price.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at this rate, the tanks that can be made up by our friend up in Auckland are winning on price. And I guess I mean I am coming up to Auckland, so it's not a horrible idea.
What
I'd get
size
them.
are you?
Pardon?
What
What
size
size?
are you getting them?
They're 240 litres, I think.
Okay, cool.
But they're 900 3-foot tank.
So they're quite deep.
900 by 600 by 450. No, by 400.
Right. Sweet.
Lots of footprint.
Lots of footprint. It's all good. It's all good.
Footprint is a good print.
What about you, Cam? You've been sending us photos of a murky tank that you're trying to do that I think you're trying to turn it into a white water tank or something, are you? Or what are you trying to do to it?
What's a whitewater tank?
You're putting the white tea in instead of the brown tea. You're instead of pooping in it, you're putting something else in it.
Fish?
Well, I don't know. You keep sending us photos of this murky tank, and I thought, hey, you like to make the poop looking tanks, so why would you're probably doing that?
I was just taking your update reports or progress reports of the Frontosa tank.
Oh yeah. How are they loving how are the clown loaches loving the Frontosa? Are they happy?
They might be, but I'm not. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No,
It is what it is.
No itchy spotties yet. No.
At this point, everything is looking okay. They've been in there for Monday, so Monday? Yeah, Monday. So obviously today will be day 2. They looked all right yesterday, no dramas. I'll be in and out again a couple of times today to make sure everything's all right. So far, okay. So
Nice.
I'm not,
So,
other than like the potential of moving from stress, I'm not really expecting any issues, but you never know.
are they if they gone to the new house,
If so, my old man let me put the tank that was still in the garage. Let me set that up just so I don't distress too much about having to move shit around everywhere. So they've gone back to where I was.
Yeah.
And then
And you
that tank's moving on the weekend.
because you have finally have I've got to get out of this place by date, don't you? So you've got a lease signed.
Certainly have.
So how many glass boxes do you have to relinquish before you can have the place empty?
Relinquish, as in get rid of.
Or just move, or otherwise deal with?
I haven't counted. I don't want to.
Is it like a ballpark, like 20, 100, 150? What are you talking?
How many Blue Planet 65 litres?
No, just counting.
44.
No, it's more than that.
And I've got a request. I've got a request from a listener as well. Just while you're calculating,
We'll get into that in the listener mail section.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Roger.
We can revive it.
Approximately 70, 65 litre tanks off the top of my head, plus everything else that's hanging around.
So you're talking like
How many?
tanks.
Probably about 100 tanks in general and overall.
Ooh, it's a lot of tanks.
That's one or two.
How
So
many
you're gonna
have you sold in the last week?
Two people asking questions at once.
My question was, my statement was you're going to have a busy Christmas. His question was, how many have you sold in the last week?
Yes, I am, and one.
Oh, okay. So 100 more weeks, you might be there.
Yeah.
Well,
in 2 years' time, we might.
Being that I'm not prioritising it, and I haven't put one up to say, hey, look, I'm trying to sell one yet. Someone said to me, hey, I'm looking for a tank. Have you got one? I said, yep, sweet as. And so that was fairly easy.
So you've been having job interviews too, eh? So that's good.
Certainly have. Yep.
So the labour market must be really fucking limited down there in Nelson. So you're lucky. People are looking for their own grown-up, let himself go Harry Potter lookalike to put in the window. So there is a job for you.
Hagrid.
Yeah. Hagrid. No, it's good. It's good. So it's good. Are people hiring at the moment going to Christmas, or are they just interviewing for New Year starts?
One of them's New Year start. One of them would be like a next week start.
Oh, really?
But we'll see how that one goes.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. Nigel did say the $10 offer is still there, so it's on the table. We talked about it last week. Very serious.
I've been walking around and looking at stones to pick up to work out which one would give them a impact of smashing them. So yeah.
I think a hammer would be better than a stone.
Good point being that I've got a pretty fucked shoulder and I can't throw very well.
I thought you were a cricket player.
That's why I've got a pretty cooked shoulder and I can't throw very well.
So you're not a very good cricket player then?
Define good.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's all relative. You're probably better than your 6-year-old son, but you're definitely not better than your 6-year-old son at dancing, because that guy's like a fucking.
He's a machine. He is a machine.
Yeah.
But he gets his moves and his ability from me. So yeah.
I thought you said your missus was actually some sort of dancer, like proper dancer, and your other kids are like into actual representative sports.
Yeah, but all the ability and skill comes from me.
You're fuck all.
It's also it's representative in Nelson though. The pool is very small.
To be fair, it's representative
international, wasn't it?
Representing of New Zealand. So stick that up your fucking ass.
Well,
all right.
Whatever genetics in that family they decided to reinforce, they've done a good job. They're creating a super speed skater. That's what they're trying to do. So, In my fishy room, I haven't really been up to much because I've been so busy, but I did strip some Taiwan reefs and some flame tails last night, which was cool. I haven't bred Taiwan reefs for ages because I've had the synodontis with them and they pissed them off and they stopped breeding. So there you go. But they've stripped 4 females last night, so there's a heap of them. So it'll be good to get some of them out there again. I think I've got a few people that want Taiwan reefs, so that's good.
Nice.
They're like the ugly cousin of the Red Empress.
I actually think they're nicer than a Red Empress, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
The problem with the Red Empress is when they're on fire, but 99% of the time they're not on fire, and they're almost not just not quite there.
Yeah.
But Taiwan reefs seem to colour up real nice, and there's one somewhere in there. But yeah, the problem with them is the females are quite colourful, and I went through a stage there where I was selling females as males, so I had about 6 people come back to me because the females were blue as and they were coloured and they were too small to fence. So I was like, that's got to be a male. It's colourful as. And then people came back to me, oh, my male Taiwan reef's holding. So
you're just explaining another one of your grifting strategies.
But what?
Take people's money and don't send their fish for 6 months, and now sell them males as females. So yeah, definitely a grifter.
Yeah, but I swapped them all out or refunded and took all the females back. So, so now I know, be more careful when I'm selling Taiwan reefs because people don't want females. Anyway, has anyone clicked on the link to actually join, or are we just going to talk to ourselves the whole time?
We're probably going to talk to ourselves the whole time.
What? We had so many people arranged to join and no one's joining. Vishal, click the link. Nigel, click the link. The Aqua Escapes, click the link. Thomas, click the link. Come on. Helen, click the link. We know you're all there. Get your 2 minutes of fame. I can't. Well, actually, I can't. I can't promise I'll be nice, so I won't lie to you. Where's Branton? I thought Branton was going to be here too. He's bailed as well.
He's working in Chicago at the moment and was unable to make it.
What?
Yeah. It sounds quite exotic, but like it's big, like just like you go to Hamilton, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Chicago and Hamilton are probably on the same sort of level.
Well, like comparative to like where you're living and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds impressive going to Chicago, but because we've got to fly like 17 hours to get there or something.
Yeah, it might just be a 45-minute drive across state lines for him.
Cool.
Do you had a request from a listener?
I did. So now a listener contacted me after the last.
Oh, hang on, we've got Vishal here. Vishal's going to do some talking. Hey, buddy.
Boys, good morning. Good morning, boys.
Hey, bro.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Not so bad, not so bad.
Firstly, you need to tell everyone about your exciting purchase. Your exciting and very responsible purchase this week, mate.
I have, bro. Sitting on my lawn, it's actually.
Oh,
I want that.
yeah.
I can show you.
I hope it's a ride-on lawnmower.
What's that?
I said, I hope it's a ride-on lawnmower.
Oh,
Oh yes, nice.
Yeah.
mate,
One
she's aired
should
out
pull.
and she's just sitting.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Very responsible purchase. You can tell you're a fish keeper. You make responsible purchases and you spend your money wisely. Invest it. Invest it.
I'm pretty sure this is what you call proper midlife crisis.
Nice.
Hey, but at least you got to do it with a smile on your face, mate. And at least you didn't buy an
mate.
MX-5.
Definitely. What's happening this morning,
Okay.
boys?
What's that?
What's happening this morning?
What is your greatest fishy achievement this year, Vishal?
Can we circle back to me?
No.
Oh, shit.
I thought it would
have
be getting
managed
blue
to keep-
dolphins. I thought it would be getting the blue dolphin colony, mate. Come on, you've wanted blue dolphin since I
Oh,
met
mate,
you.
yes,
And-
yes,
and-
yes. Blue
and, you know,
Dolphin
you find me,
Colony,
you've got-
I've managed to successfully get fries, and they are happy. And one of them got a Popeye, which is sad.
Thomas says do a skid.
You say you won't, but I think Visual was the type of person that would.
Yeah, it's gonna
You
be
don't really
full
know,
send,
Bishop.
mate. It's gonna be nothing but full send.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had a few. I've had a colony of dolphins, and then I managed to raise some eels. Started to raise an arowana, which was pretty cool as well. So I think that was achievement for me this year. Right.
Oh, you've got an FX4 as well. You were so buzzing about your
Yes.
FX4, right?
I
You were like,
feel super privileged, mate. I feel super privileged. Got an FX4.
But were you able to lift it?
that was fun as well.
Oh,
Were
no.
you able to lift the FX4?
Oh, mate, I'm pumping the FX4s every month and make some muscle.
Morning, Helen.
Good morning. Can you
I
hear
thought
me?
we were just going to let one person on at a time. Otherwise, it's going to get really confusing.
When I thought we were just throwing them all out there. We can have 10 on at one time. Let's just rock and roll it.
Okay.
There's the dysfunction that we are.
Ryan just became really small though, which is like, I mean, for those who don't know, you know, he's not exactly tall anyway.
Well,
That's
I've got
better.
bigger-
Thank you,
no,
Ryan.
Not really. But anyway.
Do you reckon I look like a brown version of Ryan with no hair?
No, I wouldn't insult you like that.
Oh, thanks, man.
I would. I know you well enough. So, what has been your highlight of the podcast? Anyone? We know the lowlights because everyone sucked, but
Oh, yeah. Good awkward silence.
no highlight at all. That's good.
My
That's good.
highlight was actually last week when you got told off by Helen for the things you did. Because
You,
that was
Vishal.
priceless.
Fuck
That
you,
was
Vishal.
like the look on you guys' faces, you know, the moment it was said, it was just, oh, it's like 3 kids just got a hiding, mate.
Oh,
And we
that was
deserved it, so
priceless for me.
we deserved it.
Yeah, definitely.
no, there you go. Okay, we'll move on from that.
Thanks.
Thanks for bringing that up again. It's going to look like the Brady Bunch here soon. Are your lawns well mown? Thomas said you're here to give us some Christmas lawn mowing tips.
Well, not at the moment. We've had some shitty nor'westers over the last week or so. So there's, rubbish all over them. It's a weekend job.
I thought it was one of your daughter's jobs.
Sorry?
I thought it was one of your daughter's jobs.
Yeah, no, she'll be onto it this weekend.
Good.
Vishal, we'll finish with Vishal because he looks like
Oh, yeah.
he's
See you
already
guys.
trying to finish. Vishal, what is your fishy goal for next year, mate? What are you going to try and achieve this year, fishy wise?
Seriously, my goal is to downsize, to be really honest.
Get off. Kick him off. Get rid of him. He's gone.
Okay. The goal is to move away from the Oscars and let the eels and the airline grow in the big tank. And as they get too big, to move out of the tank and then swap them for a smaller one. So my goal is to move away from Oscars and try stick to eels and those oddballs, you know, because you know I love them. I love them heartily and deeply, you know. So yeah. And
You ended up.
start a colony of dolphins. So dolphins, that's happening. Fries are on the way. So 2 tanks, as you know. So I'm going to try and keep one for dolphin and one for eels and arowana. And
Nice,
that's my
'cause you've
goal
got-
for next year.
You got one big ass tank, don't you?
I got one big ass tank that I'm going to try and keep the arrow in there until it's like maybe 400, 500 long, and then I'll swap it for a small one, and then I'll just cycle going there.
Sounds good. Good goals.
Yep.
Good goals.
And
Apart
get
from
my S13
downsizing.
finished. That's my biggest goal, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that's not fish related, is it?
No, but it's still seriously cool. Cool. All right. What about you, Helen?
All right.
What is your? Oh, actually, Bushel, what's your biggest disaster been this year? I know,
Uh,
but does everyone else know?
Disaster.
Yeah, I think
would-
so.
Yeah, my disaster would be losing all my wild betters one after the other. I think they must have had an infection of some sort and just quietly died off.
That's the worst one too, when they die. When one dies, and you're like, "That's okay. It's okay. Maybe it was just a random."
Yeah.
And then like a month later, another one dies, and you're like, "I don't know what to do. There's no real symptoms. I don't know what to act on here. Is there anything I can treat? What do I do? Maybe it's another
Yeah,
random, and then another one dies, and you're like, ah, crap."
And we don't have the access to the drugs that you can get overseas, so there's nothing you can try to do anything about it.
It is sad, and the problem is, even with access to the drugs, we don't have access to the knowledgeable professionals to actually administer the drugs. So even if we
Yeah.
had them, we wouldn't know what to use because we don't have the, for lack of a better word, intelligence to actually use them. So
Yeah. Helen showed me a new fish that she got last week, which looked absolutely stunning. Would you be able to show us on here?
Well, I could. Tank's a bit messy at the moment because it's just a quarantine tank, but he is such a cool fish. If I can work out how to do it.
It's all right. Trust me,
I
we
got
don't
some
judge.
fantastic video of him the other day dancing with his reflection. He's very, very vain.
Sounds like Ryan.
No, he's hiding.
oh, it's a pleco, is it? Must be hiding.
Yeah, no. No. It's kind of hard
What
to
is
see
that?
when it's all small like that.
Oh, is that a mandarin?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Mandarins are awesome.
Cool.
He is such a cool fish. And he's doing really
Yeah.
well. He's eating like mad, which is the biggest worry with them.
Because they're supposed to only eat pods, aren't they?
No, he's
Yeah,
looking.
I thought,
The other day I put the camera on and the phone on and he came bouncing up to say hello.
so is that one being weaned onto processed food?
Sorry?
Is that one being weaned onto processed food?
I'm hoping to. He's not eating pellets at the moment. Sorry, don't need my face that fast. But he is eating white worms, which is brilliant.
Because
They're
they're supposed to be
really fattening.
exceptionally hard to keep alive because they don't eat properly. They only eat pods in established
if
tanks,
you can get them
apparently.
eating, they're fine. It's just getting them eating. And he's eating brine shrimp quite happily, and he's eating frozen copepods, which is great.
Yeah,
But
cool. That's
the
manageable.
day he started eating white worms, I was thrilled. So he's looking really good now.
Cool. Yeah, cool fish. I do like them. When I tried to go down the marine route and had a tank too small and it was a disaster, I was looking at them and thinking, man, I'd love one of them. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously cool fish.
I just imagine you trying to do marine because I've seen your tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Matt,
like
trying to do
Ryan,
marine for so long now, and Ryan's just been holding me off. He's like, "No, don't do marine. Don't get into marine."
well,
It would-
Can't
I'm
even
sure.
start
I'm sure.
directly,
I'm
trying to
sure
get
you
to
keep
marine.
your tanks and. I'm sure you keep your tanks in better nick than Ryan, so maybe give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
I also went in half cocked with a tank too
Half
small.
what?
Half cocked.
Half cooked.
I heard what you heard, Cam.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least I wasn't fully cooked, But anyway, and the tank was too small. The gear was not quite up to spec. It wasn't really.
If you would
done
know about
properly.
cooking with gear, they would.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think I think one day I will do it again, but the problem is you've just got to go. I think you've got to go full into it. Get a decent sized tank, get some decent gear, and it can suck up a lot of money.
Yeah, nano reef tanks are a thing though. My main tank is just one of my 90-litre cubes with a hang-on back filter. And yeah, you're a bit limited in the type of fish you can keep, but there's still plenty of small ones. And it doesn't cost anywhere near as much to set up because you only need one light and you don't have to have the sump and everything else. You just have to watch the amount of livestock and be on top of water changes.
Do you have
Is
like
there a-
corals and stuff or not?
Sorry?
Corals. Do you have corals like softies
Oh,
and that sort of stuff? Or?
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
first started, I wasn't that interested in them, but I thought I'd get a couple just to see. And now they're absolutely fascinating creatures. Just,
They are
love
cool.
them. Yeah, very cool. Every colour of the rainbow. They're amazing.
Is there a marine shop down your way?
Yeah, there's a local guy on Wood End, just down the road from me, which is fantastic. He's at the main shop in Christchurch, Central Christchurch, is up for sale at the moment. So this
Oh, that's
guy will be
right.
the
Living Reef,
only
right?
one.
Yeah,
Sorry?
Living Reef, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still going at the moment, but the place was put up for sale about a few months ago. So if that sells, the
There's
only
a-
other
there's a-
guy shifted
there's
up
a business
your
for you,
way
Helen.
to Motueka recently.
Helen, did that for you, Helen? Set up
Sorry?
a marine shop. Set up a marine shop. There you go. You're into it.
No, I don't know enough about it. So it is definitely more involved than freshwater, but yeah, it's
Is
fun
that
learning.
Coral? Is that Coral Collective that's down there you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the guy I go
Yeah.
to see. He's
Yeah.
really good. He helped me right from the start.
Cool. Cool, cool,
Nice.
cool.
So
Side note,
Biggest-
there's a Hollywood opening by my end.
yeah, we saw that. Be
Mm.
interesting to
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yep.
There's a lot of shops sort of popping up around the place. There's that other new one shop up in Auckland too, in Westgate.
Yeah, one
everyone
by
seems
you.
to be ramping up. So, does it mean the hobby's getting bigger? If all these stores are opening up, then maybe there must be seeing demand. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it.
Has to be
Interesting.
profitable for a business to be run, right? So, makes
Yeah, I
sense.
mean, someone's seeing some sort of reason to do it. Either that or they're all
I guess
crazy.
I guess it's a
Optimism,
population
perhaps.
thing as well, since Auckland's just full of people, you know. I mean, we've got more people than anything here. So, and everyone's trying to get into something new for their kids or something for summer. So it makes sense, you know, kids are home during the Christmas holidays and breaks. Give them a fish, they're happy.
Mm,
But then,
Yeah.
then what happens after Christmas?
yeah, that is the problem.
I think we all know that story after that.
Yeah.
Then there's some cheap tanks to buy.
I've been wondering why Hollywood Fish Farm is building another store in Auckland and not expanding around the country slightly more. Obviously, the population in Auckland's quite big, but you'd think that 2 or 3 in Auckland would be kind of covering what they needed to cover, which I think is quite interesting. Or are they
Yeah,
just trying to get market share and just get a building in every kind of part of Auckland?
The
doing
problem
that?
with Auckland is it's quite geographically separated. So, like someone in East Auckland, where
That's not the only problem with Auckland.
and I live here. Okay, we'll cover the two problems. All right, there we go, sorted. Anyway, we loosely live here, I should say, by living out where I live. But anyway, the problem is East Auckland is so far away from everything else that like people don't want to drive an hour and a half to go to another store, so they are trying to set up a local store, which makes sense. Like I have people come from Flatbush to visit me, and it's an hour and a half. How long is it from you, Vishal? It's quite a while to come up to my house.
Yeah, about an hour and a half as well. Yeah.
But you'll bring the Mustang out and take me for a ride, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, you know, I took it out for a drive last night. It's scary driving on the left hand side while trying to shift with your right hand side. and I haven't driven a manual in so long. Midway in traffic, I actually had a cramp, and I had to pull up on the side of the road. It's midlife crisis, mate. I'm too old for this.
I hate being old too, mate. I hate it. It sucks.
Everything hurts, mate. Like I had a full-on.
I had
Just
to
wait,
put a
guys. It gets so much better.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I had to put a cushion on the Recaros and the Swifty because it kept hurting my back. So yeah, definitely old people problems. The Suzuki Swift hurt my back. That is the definition of getting old.
Yeah, I was driving a manual car into Christchurch for a session a couple of weeks ago, and the next day my left shoulder was killing me, and I think it was just all the foot on the clutch, and yeah, it wasn't much fun, I can tell you.
So you can mow lawns and drive a manual.
Cool.
I can drive a manual. That's all there was when I learned to drive.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Only rich people had automatics.
Yeah, it's funny how like all the cars that came out cost more to be automatic than manual, and now those same cars would cost more to be manual than automatic.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, one of my daughters can drive a manual, the other can't.
Yeah, I tried to teach my kids.
Can they drive tractors?
One of them can. Yeah, she does a lot of tractor driving in her job, but the other one probably not. Wouldn't be much to teach her.
That's awesome. Yeah, I tried to teach our kids manual, and my son was kind of into it, but the girls were not. So they ended up in automatics. Just too much going on for them. So yeah,
my youngest actually requested a manual car for her first car just to make so that she would learn how to drive it, which is
so did my daughter. We made sure she wanted a manual, so we made sure we got a manual for her. Actually, both of them did.
Cool. The funny thing was when I was in the military, like all the vans were manual, so we'd go on a trip or something, and anyone below the age of 25 couldn't drive because we used to make all the young fellas drive, so we didn't have to. We could just sit in the back and chill, and all the old fellas had to drive because the young fellas didn't know how to drive a manual. So it was quite funny. So we're like, nah, we'll teach them all how to drive manuals, and did training days on teaching them to drive manuals. So there you go.
I thought I was real smart when I was younger in my boy racery type days. I had this souped up Skyline with a triple plate heavy duty clutch, and went to go to Auckland. Worst idea ever. Stop, start in traffic every 10 meters, and by the end of it, like my leg, I could barely walk. This thing was it was horrible. You virtually had to stomp it down to get the clutch in.
And they're like an on-off. They're not an on-off switch too, aren't they? They're not a gentle clutch. They're just like.
Yeah, it either goes or it doesn't go, and yeah, I stalled many times. So that was fun, and I never put one of those clutches into a car after that.
There's a reason that basically for race cars and drag cars, right?
Yeah.
Not for road cars.
Hey, the clutch technology has changed now, by the way. The triple plate clutch will now be as light, if not lighter, than a factory clutch on your feet.
Huh.
Yeah.
Visual works in a performance car supply shop, so he'd know.
So they're not like the old ones where you had to stomp them in sort of thing, and maybe I need to reignite that.
Yeah, you probably can't afford a
Yeah,
Skyline
maybe
now,
we
though,
need
so
to
that's
get
problem.
you.
Yeah, because I've got fish.
Yeah. And JDM inflation has happened.
Yes.
Yeah,
Get any JDM?
Rebecca's got a good point. A manual can be a really good anti-theft device. Because
no, I would argue against that. Mazda Demio's #1 stolen car. A lot of them are manual. They don't know how to drive them, but like they put it. Let's go.
They make a move. They make a move and probably blow the gearbox up on the clutch in the process.
Yeah. I think most of my chases, most were with Demios and most were manual.
At least they would have been slow chasers because they probably couldn't figure out how to get into a high enough gear to speed up.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
They're sitting there in second gear with their foot flat on it.
No, they put it into third or fourth and they just didn't stop. They'd go over the roundabout rather than around the roundabout.
Oh,
If you don't have to brake, you don't have to change gear.
Yeah, and then stall it at a stop sign.
Yeah, it's a very
You
good
know,
chase.
someone in the chat just said, hey, hills are a bit challenging in a manual car. Oh, not really. Nowadays, you have hill assist in cars. Even in a manual car, even if you're on a hill, it's not going to roll back. The moment you
Yeah.
jump on the throttle, the brake disengages.
My '96 Prado does not have hill assist. It just has boost
96
and torque.
Pro doesn't have a lot of things, mate.
Does your
Tell you
Prado
what,
have that little?
It'll probably survive the end of the world. That car and a Highland.
It's going good though.
Does your Prado have that little compass up the front with like
Yeah.
the car's
Yeah.
leaning down
Yeah.
or it's leaning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is completely useless. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Yeah. But hey, it's cool, I guess.
Hey, I have a
Highlands
question for
have
you
those.
guys. What's the most amount of fish you've fit in your car successfully? Ryan, I don't think you can answer this. I think you're out of the picture, mate.
Yeah.
How
I
many
got
fish have you guys
I got
successfully put in your
140. I got 140 adults in that day in the Prado. That was an achievement. But yeah.
I think when I recently went up to see Ryan, what was the count? 125-ish total.
21
No.
buckets. Yep.
Yeah, not including like the small fish like the brevis and bits and pieces. That was just big peacocks. So that's probably the most that I've had. And that was a nervous trip as well. That was a very nervous trip all the way back to Palmy.
Especially the desert road when it's a bit cold and they're in the back tray of the ute.
Yeah.
Oh.
That sounds
going
like
on
a
here?
rooster, mate, but it's not. It's just Ryan's.
It's the vicious. It's a vicious. It's a
Intruder
vicious
alert.
killer.
Yeah.
It's a vicious
Vicious
killer.
killer.
Oh, he'll kill you.
There we go. It's the Licky Monster.
It's a teddy bear. Yeah. What about you, Cam or Helen? You got any gathering of excessive amounts of
He's
fish
my vicious
stories? Oh my gosh! What is that? What sort of dog is it?
So, what is
What
it?
sort of dog is it?
Papillon.
Ah, yeah.
Ears. Big ears.
Ah, they're good fun. Not when they bark in the morning and everyone's asleep. Although I'm getting messaged and asked why I'm yelling, so I think I'm in trouble.
Everyone's showing off their dogs. I feel left, mate.
Yeah,
Just pick up
keep
your Oscar.
Keep your dogs
Here you
away.
go. Here's my dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you Fisher went through a stage of collecting Oscars, eh? How many have you got
Yeah,
now?
man. So, yep. I'm finally settled now. So the tank's settled, everything's settled. They're happy. Yeah, and I didn't even know I can keep dolphins the Oscars. They are not phased. They're happy. They're actually fighting the Oscars for the food, which is pretty cool to me. And they're still breeding in there, which is it's a plus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mixing them, but I did go to your house and they did look pretty happy. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. Anyway, dolphins do seem pretty versatile in terms of African cichlids in that they're not particularly aggressive, like super aggressive, and they seem quite tolerant of other fish, but yeah, they're not super predatory either. But again, don't like
I had
mixing
my
them,
jag.
but yeah.
About 3 or 4 weeks ago, my jag, the tail of my arowana completely took the whole rear end off.
What's that?
Thankfully, the arowana had a nip taken off the tail the Jaguar. The Jaguar was half the size, but still managed to rip the complete tail off the end of it.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so I got pretty angry. So I grabbed the Jaguar, maybe I don't know, maybe about 3.5, 4 inches. The arrows maybe 6 inches, 7 inches. I got so mad, so I picked up the Jaguar, I put him in the Oscar tank, and now it's become the tank boss at that size.
I think
Yeah,
that
I
the
know,
biggest
I've
question
got
you need to ask
problems
yourself
on
is
the way.
the biggest question you need to ask yourself is why the heck do you have a Jag?
Because
Jags
Cam
cool.
said they were cool. He's growing it up to send down to Cam.
Jags are cool.
Yeah,
Don't
they're,
do that. I have
they're
knowledge
cool
for
as
it.
shit, mate.
Yeah. You were given a
Like-
Jag as a gift. That's probably the highlight of your year, wasn't it? Getting given a Jag as a gift, and you got rid of
Are
it.
you talking to me?
Yeah.
That was last year, you brilliant.
Well, we didn't do this last year, so that's still current.
Yeah, and you call me a yokel.
What about fishy goals for next year for you, Helen? What are you going to do? What are you going to try and achieve?
Oh, I've got a few tanks that need to be re-scaped. They've kind of reached looking a bit messy, so reached the end of their scape and need tidying up and starting again with them. I've just picked up a tank from Nick because I promised a long time ago that I would take over his Hillstream Loaches when he was thinking about heading overseas. So
Oh,
I'm
he's
going to have
keen as on
Hillstream
them too,
Loaches,
isn't he?
which are very cute.
He's keen as on them, yeah.
Sorry?
He was keen as on those too, wasn't he? He was right into them.
Yeah, well, I'm slightly worried because one of them's 8 years old, and he's had
Ooh,
it,
yeah.
all that time. But he just wants them to go to someone who's going to look after them. And I've always liked Hillstream Loaches, so I've picked up the tank, but I haven't got time at the moment. I'm too busy with work. So after Christmas, I will get that sorted and then pick up the fish.
Nice.
I've always liked Hillstream Loaches.
Are you going to do a bigger
They're
marine
very
tank,
cool.
or are you just going to stick with a small one?
No, I'll just stick with it's a 60 by 30 tank, so that will be fine for them. I'm quite happy to have just them, or if I think there's enough room, I might add some glow light Danios or something to it. I quite like tanks with just 1 or 2 species in them.
Yeah, getting right into it for your enjoyment rather than big fancy tank that looks cool for everyone else.
Yeah,
Just
I do
which
have
is where
one
you
big
get-
tank full of everything, but most of the other tanks have only got 1 or 2 species in them, and they seem to
So
work
more-
really well.
How many tanks do you have?
11.
11. All right, so you can probably double that
Could-
this year too. But next year will be a good goal.
No.
Could Cam tempt you in 44 Blue Planet 65 litres?
Absolutely not.
I've
I
got
don't have
more than
space for them. I've got a
Don't you
small
live in a
old
farm?
house.
You live in a
Sorry?
farm though, right? You live on a farm.
Yeah,
There's room
I
for a
can't keep them
container?
out in the pen.
There's a room for a container.
I've already got containers full of hay.
Well,
And
there you go. Well, get rid of the hay. You don't need that shit. Put some fish tanks in them.
yeah, the horses might say different.
That's the
Yeah.
They'll be fine. They'll go grass to eat.
It's an old house, and there's limited power points. Is the biggest problem. You would be
I know
Sparky
how
can
to
horrified
fix
to
that.
see.
Sparky can fix that.
Solar power is the way.
Yeah, but that costs money.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
No,
Well,
reasons, not excuses. Reason. The biggest reason actually is I'm at the limit of what I can cope with happily. I like the tanks to be clean all the time. I do water changes and maintenance every week, and any more would just mean an entire Sunday doing nothing else. And I
11
have other
11
things to
tanks
do
on
too.
manual water changes and maintaining
No.
them is a fair
No.
fair bit of a undertaking.
No.
11 of them.
Just for the record, the amount of tanks that there wasn't an every Sunday job, it was an everyday job, so you'll be fine.
So no, I've got enough. I'm happy with what I've got. I'm having fun with the marine tank because it's different and I've always wanted to do it. The rest of it, yeah,
So are there plans
mean,
for a bigger marine tank, or is it just going to be the small one?
So expensive. A bigger tank, yes, you can have a bigger range of fish, but man, those bigger fish are not cheap. You're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars per fish, and you need more lights, and the lights aren't cheap, and more corals to fill everything up. It's just cost. That's why those guys often just have one big tank and that's it, which is fine, but I like small tanks too.
Do you has it started getting hot down there? Because I know that marine tanks don't like the heat. Is that a concern for you?
Yeah, I did notice there was one day last week we've had some, like I say, shitty nor'westers, and it was hitting 30, 32 degrees. And the tank, the heaters I use have little indicators on them if it gets above or below temperature. And it was 1 degree above temperature in the main tank. And the Banggai Cardinal was right down the bottom of the tank, sort of trying to stay cool, I think. The heat was up a bit warmer up the top, and it was a bit cooler down the bottom. So even 1 degree, they start to show distress, whereas the freshwater don't care.
Yeah, it's interesting. What about you, Vishal? How many tanks you got, mate? I know, but tell everyone else.
I have about 6 of them at the moment that's running. But yeah, like I said, I would like to downsize, man. Like she said, you're going to turn your whole Sunday into sort of cleaning tanks, and that's what I'm doing because of the size of it. It's so long to clean the water because I got no pump. So the diameter of the hose limits the flow of the water. So take some time, man. Take time.
You should come see me because I've got a box of pumps sitting under my house. You can have one next time you come out.
Mate.
Remind me. I've got one for you.
I should come see you because I'm on your bucket list, mate.
Yeah, you're on my bucket list. He's on top of my bucket list. He's got one of my buckets still, and Matt's got my buckets too.
I think it was 2, but it's okay. I'll settle with 1.
Didn't you have one there? Oh no, 2. You're on the list for 2.
No, stop adding
Matt's got
tax
some
on me.
too.
That's a proper Auckland way. Add some tax on it. Hey,
The main reason
5 now.
The main reason I want you to come out is to take me for a cruise in that Mustang. So that's the main reason.
Oh, easy, mate. I think you're gonna be burning tits on your wedding. Has to be.
Yeah. I've got to talk to you about that. Actually, I've got a plan. So yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, we can bring up both, mate. This and the S13 if it's running. Imagine that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, but you've got 4 tanks or 6 tanks, sorry, but they're big tanks, eh? They're not small tanks.
Yeah, correct. So one's about 1800 long, the other one's about 15, and then I've got 2 15 side by side as well, and then I've got 2 fight tanks that are running. One is with sort of like the newborns, and the other one's like maybe a month old or so, and they're all dolphins. I don't keep many fish. I own
Those
Do you just keep,
sorry.
do you just keep big fish, or have you done something from like a big tank and small fish? Because that's really cool.
What's that, sorry?
Do you just keep big fish in your big tanks, or do you do something like cool and logical, like small fish in the big tank?
No. So I have it down to it's maybe 15 fish in the biggest tank at most. Out of them, a few of them like foil bars, and then some silver dollars, and then just Oscars, and that's it. Like I try to keep as minimum as less as possible in my tank. I did that with Africans, but I understand because you got to stock them heavily to keep aggression down. Kind of. I had male and females mixed as well. So Ryan taught me a lot at the start of this year and early last year, setting up the African. So I've learned the mistakes, and now I'm just trying to keep Americans. So it's limited, very limited on what I carry now.
You got
but on the Africans on the other end, we stuffed maybe 200, 250 fishes in a tank.
And then
but that wasn't
when it went wrong, it went wrong. Yeah.
When it went wrong, it broke my heart, dude. I was actually supposed to go to work. I called into work and I had a big meeting with Ripco and stuff. I had to cancel all of that. I stayed home. I cried. First, what I did was I cried. I lost all my favorite fish, mate. I've lost. It was sad. It was really sad. It was really, really sad. Lost about 50 fish. Beautiful ones.
Yeah, I remember well.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't a
That
good
was
time.
sad.
We've all been there.
No.
We've all been there.
And I think that was my tipping point when I sort of moved away from the Africans after the disaster. It kind of broke my heart. You know? It left a hole that I couldn't fill. So I tried to fill it in Oscars. Yeah, not quite, because it's doing somewhat, but hey man, that's just a learning curve. You know, I learned that I gotta have some sort of fail safe in place, which I have now. Hopefully none of that disaster. And speaking of heat, I don't leave my heaters on in December, so summertime. All of my heaters will be turned off because inside my house is about 26 degrees. It's cooking, mate. Even the tanks are sitting at about 26, 25 degrees. So the heaters are off. They only come on like maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, but it's hard to keep the tank low on a bigger tank. I often have to have set up or blow some air, trying to move some air to the tank.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's good. In summary, Vishal had a lot of fish in a tank, and then he had a heater fail. I'd say a filter fail, and then
I had to make a fail.
And a wave maker fail and a heater fail, and then everything got out of balance. And then he started down the road of adding clarity and doing a few other things, which kind of messed with things a little bit more. But now he has like 2 filters on each tank, and he's got a bunch of those massive sponge filters, and he's got a big air pump running all sorts of stuff. So he's got redundancies now, got lots of water movement, and shouldn't happen again.
No,
As a summary.
I doubt it will. Fish, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, those clarities and those things, man. I don't use any chemicals in my tank now. It's been a year. Like, okay, this is gonna probably. I don't know if I should say this or not. I don't even test me water. I know it's pretty nice to test water, but it's to the point where I know what color it gets before I change. Every Saturday, Sunday, I would full water change. I know they're happy. I don't add any chemicals in here now. Only thing I will add is maybe Winter Wonder Drink or something, or a sock, and that's about it. That's the only thing I'll add. Thank God I haven't had any outbreaks or any this whole year, which is cool. But I'm getting Americans are just hardy than Africans.
Oh God! All right. Well, your connection's pretty crappy, Vishal. You keep cutting out, so it's hard to hear.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I go to work. I'm gonna get ready for work. So you guys take care, man.
All right. Good to see you, bro. Happy Merry Christmas, and we'll catch up.
Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, mate.
See you guys. Take care. Merry Christmas.
See ya.
Yeah,
What
I
about
was
you,
just
Helen?
about
You-
to say I need to get ready to start work too, so I might need
What do
to
you
get
do
off,
for a
but
job?
it's been
What do you
fun.
do for a job, Helen? Tell us. It
I'm
must be
dog
very
groomer.
exciting. A dog groomer.
Dog groomer, which is
Oh,
not much
damn.
fun in 30-degree heat, I can tell you.
He needs a groom. Come groom him.
Yeah.
Can you just do a tour of the country? So come groom my setter, then go up and groom Ryan's dog, and
No.
collect some
My
fish
last
along
day-
the
My last
way.
day is Monday, and I'm looking forward to it. At the moment, I've got red eyes full of dog hair, and I'm coughing up fur balls, and we're a bit like hairdressers. We're so busy this month. December books backwards from the 23rd every year. It's the only month that books backwards. So
Do you
I'm about ready for a break.
do you think that grooming can be DIY? Because I was considering buying some clippers and giving it a go myself, because I don't want to pay the
Absolutely
$90
can. I mean,
a
if you
dog.
don't mind what it looks like, if you want a really good job, then you need to pay someone. But it's like anything, it's a learned skill. So I have a few clients that clip their dogs off most of the time, but then bring them in 2 or 3 times a year just for me to tidy up bits and pieces. Just depends
I
if you can
think-
get them to stand still.
These dogs would end up with reverse mohawks and things like that if I did it. It'll be quite funny. Or I'd try and make this one look like a lion. I think that'll be me.
Yeah, I
Give 'em a
get
long
the odd
cut.
request every now and then.
I did try with the hair clippers once, but they were not good enough. They didn't do the job properly. The dew was too thick or something. It clogged up. Started pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
then
like
you've got to buy
anything,
specialist
if
clippers.
you know what you're doing, it's easier. But apparently the cheap clippers from Kmart aren't too bad for a few goes anyway. They don't last forever, but they only cost about $30, and you can get a few grooms out of them.
So you go, Matt. That's our goal for next year. We'll try and groom some dogs.
Learn to do
Maybe
your own dog.
that can be our next challenge on here.
Cam's got to get a dog. You got to get a dog that we can groom, Cam. Okay, you can groom. All right.
Yeah. They seem a bit overrated.
You're a cat
Well, just-
person?
No, fuck no.
He's a fish
No.
person.
Fish person.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, one day, maybe.
Fair enough.
Make a lot of noise and they make a lot of mess. They make a lot of smell. A little bit like me, but with 4 legs, not 2.
Yeah, I know, but when you get sick of them, you can toss them out or throw them out of the house or just ignore them, unlike kids.
Are we talking about kids or are we talking about animals still?
No, animals.
All right.
Well, you can
Kids are
with
harder
children
to
too. It's
ignore.
just
I
frowned
found
upon.
that. Hey,
You can throw your kids out of the house too, but it's just frowned upon. You know, they won't do it twice. All right, well, we'll let you
Cool.
go then,
So-
Helen. Thanks for coming on.
thank you. It's been fun. Have a great Christmas,
All right.
everyone.
Merry Christmas. See ya.
Have a good Christmas.
Thank you. And then there was
Right.
3 limits.
You had a request from a listener, did you, Matt? You were going through when Vishal and Helen came on.
God, your memory is good today. So I received a listener mail request this week following Cam's quote unreasonableness, end quote.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
They would like to see him on the podcast smash at least 1 tank. Seeing as he was so adamant that he would rather do that than take money, they figure that he mustn't be that bothered. So surely he can break 1 on the podcast for us.
I like it.
With a
I
rock.
like it. Keep going.
So
Okay, cool.
I think given that we don't get that much listener mail, and we
We've read
always
not to.
encourage we always encourage people, send your requests through, send us your bits and pieces. You should go and break 1 tank for us. Doesn't have to be one of the Blue Planet ones. We just want to see you break 1 tank.
We can possibly do that. Not today, because I don't know how to make that work today.
Yeah, cool. We'll put that in the list
All right.
for a future episode.
We can put it like that, yeah.
I think Cam's, you've got to go soon, don't you?
I certainly do.
We've got an interview.
I've got to go pick up my daughter and then get ready for an interview. So time
Well,
is just
Is
Before you
there,
go,
is there any New Year's confessions that anyone needs to make on the podcast? Thomas?
well, before you go, I do have a
I'm not
present. I do have a present.
Oh.
The present, it doesn't look like much, but it's a list. I was working on this during the podcast. It's not complete, but mainly because my memory is not that great. But yes, it was I doing, not all of them. I'm going to say not all of them, because I don't remember doing some of the ones that you've talked about, but most of the referrals have come from me. So
You fucker.
all of these phone calls and emails and wonderful times that Ryan's been having. So just to list a few, just to remind people, there was a Propecia trial, there was a WIGS NZ, a WIGS Direct NZ, the Erectile Dysfunction Clinic, Te Pāti Māori founding member, Aramex courier driver, Hikari distributioner, a couple of retirement homes, Regain, the list goes on. That is probably only the tip of the iceberg. And I think you still only received the tip of the iceberg in terms of responses back from the amount of different people that I actually referred
And
to.
it's the gift that keeps on giving, because a lot of them will not take me off their mailing list because they believe that I need their services and I'm too shy to ask. And they keep
Mm.
reassuring me of their confidentiality and their professionalism. So
And this also comes with an apology to Tom because he became the scapegoat. I'm not 100% convinced that he hasn't done some. Like, someone else has done some, I swear, because there's either that or I really don't have a good memory, because I don't. There was a couple that you mentioned and I was like, no, that wasn't me. And when you changed your number and your
I
personal
changed
number
my email. I
started
changed
getting
my
stuff.
email. I changed my email,
Ah.
and it followed my email change on my Facebook page. So
Yeah, so I always used the same Nano, the one that started with. But yes, Tom was a perfect scapegoat because he always seemed to pop into the chat either as I was doing a referral off to the side, pop out of the chat, either side of that happening. So he was the perfect scapegoat, and I apologize that he had
you've
to.
defamed his good name. Defamed his
Yes,
good name, right?
I've defamed him. If it was America, I would be in trouble.
Well.
So will I stop? Unsure, but yeah,
I did
maybe
think
I'll
it
come
had to
up
be.
with
I did
what's-
think it had to be one of you guys. I didn't think anyone else was that determined to try and get me.
I don't know what started it as well. I think you were giving me shit about something for quite a while, and I was like, I'll show you.
I don't give anyone shit, so it can't have been me. That's a lie.
Never.
Mm. But yeah, that's my end of year confession. I can go into the new year with I'll be sleeping straight at night.
All right. Well, yeah. I just wanted to get that out of someone, so I'm glad that someone came clean. I thought Thomas was going to come on and do it,
Yeah, well,
but no.
maybe someone still needs to come clean about something, because
All right.
Right.
Well, let's
Let's
let
move.
Cam go. Let's let Cam go. Now we've got that off our chest. I don't know when we're recording next. I think we're recording in the new year, eh?
Yeah.
Week of the 7th, is it? So we have
I don't know,
2 weeks
we'll
off.
work it out. We'll work it out when we get there.
2 weeks off. So recording on the 8th again. Yeah? Because we don't want to record on Christmas Day and we don't want to record on New Year's Day. So it'll be on the 8th. Yeah.
New Year's Day would be quite fun.
no.
I'll be hungover on New Year's Day at 7 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. There's no way I'll be up to.
Why? Why would we hang over on New Year's Day? Why is there a need to drink on New Year's Eve? Like, why don't you just get a nice warm cup of tea and tuck yourself into bed at 9:45?
Anyway, let's go.
Exactly what Rebecca said. Not dedicated enough for Christmas or New Year's. We need a riot. Anyway, I've got to go.
Right. All right. See you guys.
Good luck for your interview. Have a good Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Goodbye.
Bye.
See you all.